So, as promised in some of my Instagram clips, I had said that I was going to create a video for guests staying at our Airbnb to help them find their way from Dublin Airport to our house, which is about 22 minutes. I'm currently located here in Dublin Airport in the car rental area, parked in the Avis area at the moment, getting some funny looks, but not to worry. And I think this video might also help people who have never driven in Ireland before. As some of you are aware, I spent over 6.5 years in North America, so I understand the difficulties of being used to driving on the right hand side of the road and then arriving in Ireland and having to drive on the left hand side. So these are some helpful hints travelling from the car park in the car rental in Dublin Airport to our Airbnb, about 20-25 minutes away. But I do think that people will find it useful to be able to see and visualise what it looks like when you leave Dublin Airport car park and head on to the M50 if you're heading south out of Dublin. So in this instance, we are turning on to the M50, one of the ring roads in Dublin, and you can see there's a lot of markings on the road. For those of you new to Ireland and haven't driven here before, one of the things you'll immediately notice is the amount of roundabouts that are used instead of three-way or four-way stops, which do not exist in Ireland or in the UK. Also, you'll notice that there'll be many lanes: the outside lane, the middle lane, and the inside lane, generally in a roundabout. And as you are leaving the roundabout, you use the outside lane to indicate off that roundabout. We will do some more of that through this video, but in this moment I just wanted to show you the traffic lights. It's probably a good time to say that there is no turn on red traffic lights or stoplights, as they are known in North America, in Ireland at all, so you'll never go on a red light. Also in this instance, you will see signs for the M50. We're following southbound. Because you're not used to sitting on the right hand side of the car, it has a tendency to drift towards the left. So I always use the dotted white line to keep me centered in the lane. So if you focus here on this right hand dotted line, that allows you to follow the direction and ensure that you're not drifting to the left as you are driving. So currently, again, you can see we're on one of the flyovers. We're heading towards the M50, and again, very useful to see the markings on the road. Now we're leaving this roundabout, so we're indicating to the left and heading on to the slip road that will head on to the M50 at this stage. Our main roads are known as motorways, highways in North America, and they are blue signposts which you'll see overhead as you go, and that's quite helpful as you're driving along. So in this instance, we're heading towards the M50, and I'm indicating out onto the M50 at this stage, and we're looking for exit 5, which is the exit for Finglas, City Centre, Ashburn and Derry. There's some great signage here, so I wouldn't worry about getting lost at this point in time. However, there's so many lanes and you're getting used to driving on the other side of the road and sitting on the other side of the car. I would go pretty slowly along in this direction because there is a lot of fast moving traffic. So coming off now at junction 5 and staying in the right hand lane, heading towards Derry, Ashburn, and it's the N2 at this point. So you'll see the signs then will change from a blue sign to a green sign because the M roads are our motorways and the N roads are our national roads. So again, coming off the motorway and turning on to the N2 at this point in time. So now on the N2 we'll be getting off at exit 2, which is St. Margaret's exit. So it's the R135, the St. Margaret's and Blanchardstown exit. And as you go to exit at this road, you will see signs that will tell you you're coming up to the exit sign 3, then 2, and then 1, which I think is 100-meter markers to let you know that you're coming off of the road. So we're coming off of the slip road here, staying to the left because we are exiting off at the St. Margaret's exit here on the left hand side. So you'll see the signage here to say that you actually don't need to go around the roundabout, that there's actually a slip road to the left, and so you'll see that the speed limits will actually reduce at this point in time as we slip off here to the left hand side of the road. Exit the roundabout heading on the R135. It's probably a good time to speak about tips for safe driving in Ireland. Obviously our speed limits and our signs are designated in kilometres per hour, and obviously traffic in Ireland drives on the left. An easy translation or conversion, if you need it to translate from kilometres to miles, I tend to divide by 8 and multiply by 5. So if there's an 80-kilometre speed limit in a location, that's 50 miles. If it's 120 kilometres, that's 75 miles. And these conversions can be handy if you are used to driving in miles per hour as opposed to kilometres per hour. And through the next 2 roundabouts, you take the second exit, still heading for Tyrrellstown at this point in time. Notice that I am staying close to the outside lane as I am exiting at the first exit at that point. So here's a good example of getting off on the third exit. So you'll see I will indicate into the right hand lane, and as I enter onto the roundabout I am heading towards the inside lane, staying, well, obviously first of all checking there's no traffic coming, staying on the inside lane as I pass the first exit, staying on the inside lane as I pass the second exit, and then moving over into the outside lane and now taking the third exit. This sign is for Hollystown and Ratoath, and you will head straight on this road, staying straight on this road all the way to Kilbride. And so now we're heading into the village of Kilbride. This top garage on the left hand side has the best gas prices. We're turning left here, and now obviously we're getting into very narrow roads, heading down to Randwick House from here. You can see again the roads narrow greatly, but keeping that right hand dotted line in the middle rightly in your focus to ensure that you don't drift over across the road at this point in time. And at this large tree, you'll be turning right, heading down to Callstown. Again, if you thought that road was narrow, this road gets even narrower. We're heading over a very small bridge, and it's sometimes very advisable to beep the horn here because obviously only one car can pass over at a time. And then you follow this road down, which is the Callstown Road, for perhaps 1 minute at this point in time, and you will arrive at Randwick House. So thank you so much for following along on this video. I'm going to add a few more tips towards the end of this video, but hopefully that will help you on your journey from Dublin Airport to visit us here outside of Dunboyne in County Meath. Lovely to take this journey with you, and I hope you find it helpful. If not, I'm sorry. Thank you. Bye. I'm not sure if you can observe the markings on the white line, this solid white line. There's little small, what we call cat's eyes. I'm not sure if it's clear enough in this video. Basically these cat's eyes light up at night time when the light is shone on them. So they're actually really good visible tool on the road. But you might be wondering what they are. That's what they are, cat's eyes. Now is probably a good time to talk about stop signs in Ireland. So you'll see we have a stop sign here, and in North America when you see stop, you stop dead completely. In Ireland we have a tendency to do more of the rolling stop. Yes, I'm currently stopped because there is a car coming, but if there wasn't a car coming, we do have a tendency to do a rolling stop. And I'm not trying to tell you to break the law, but you will not be penalised for a rolling stop rather than a complete dead stop, as is expected in North America. So there are instances where you will have to stop and allow the car to pass. And here's a typical instance where this car will pass. First of all, we'll give the obligatory wave, and then I will then move through this beautiful space, and just turn the camera slightly so you can see this lovely space. I hope you did see that. I'm not sure if you will. And then back onto the road again. It's just a typical example of where you have to give way to the other vehicle coming, and to be aware that some of the roads in Ireland are extremely narrow. You notice the double white line on this road. It means that neither car can pass out on this road. There are some obvious signs like road bump, bus stop. Just as I'm passing traffic lights or stoplights, it just reminds me to say that there is no turn on red. There's no left turn on red. In fact, you can never turn on a red stoplight, just to make you aware of that one. there's no passing out for the next 3 kilometres, and the other is that it's a very windy road and to take care. These road arrows are for night driving. Obviously when the light shines at night time, it helps you see that the road is actually curving to the right, in case you miss that and continue to drive along the road. So I've been filming today a video for people to use if it's their first time driving in Ireland, and as I was driving along here I noticed the beautiful clouds and I thought, hey, I'll just take a quick recording of the beautiful clouds in Ireland. Here's a sign you'll see around Ireland a lot. It's the speed camera sign. Very important to note it because there are speed cameras and speed trucks located, sorry I have to go into the garage here, located around Ireland, and it's important to adhere to the I suppose the speed limit. That's the word I'm trying to think of. Oh dear, that took me a while. Just pulling into customer parking here.